Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say. Tragic news from Osun State, Nigeria. Yesterday, the state was engulfed in political unrest, resulting in the loss of 6 lives. The Osun State Police Command has confirmed the incident and, of course, expressed sympathy to those affected. In a statement released on Tuesday, the command's spokesperson, Yemisi Opalola, expressed sympathy for those who lost their loved ones and property. Opalola stated that the Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Abba, has assured the public that a thorough investigation will be conducted to apprehend the perpetrators and ensure they face the full weight of the law. All right, let's hope that the authorities are able to get to the bottom of this very tragic incident and, of course, bring back peace to the affected communities in Osun State. It's another beautiful episode on your favorite program, What Are You Saying, Ways? And my name remains Osaiwa Mesali. And today we want to discuss Osun State and, of course, the local government crisis that is brewing there. Remember, Ways is all about you. You are the why in Ways, so be a part of the conversation every single day and add your voice to the discussion. You can also head on to our YouTube channels at Official Upgrade TV. You can hit the subscribe button, like, share, and invite your families and friends to join the show right now. When I open the phone lines, I'd really love to hear, especially if you are around the Osun State environs, right? It would be nice to hear what is going on. But first, let me let you ponder on my quote for today. And this is a quote from the governor himself, Governor Adeleke. It says, the Nigerian public should hold Mr. Gboyega Oyetola and Osun State security chiefs responsible for any breakdown of law and order in the state. That's a quote that was said by the governor. So we'll delve into the conversations around Osun State and the local government crisis that is ongoing. But of course, let me run off on the break. When I come back from that break, I want to let you in on my news interest for the day. All right, thanks for staying with us. Of course, let me start with NLC shutting down the Oyo chapter of the Nigerian Congress, Labour Congress, brought operations at the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company to a standstill yesterday, rather today, staging a massive protest over the recent dismissal of over 3,000 employees. Led by its chairman, Kayode Martins, the union members barricaded the entrance of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company office, shutting down the facility and causing traffic disruptions in the challenge to Dugbe area of Ibadan. The protesters were chanting solidarity song, and they also demanded the immediate reinstatement of the sacked workers and the payment of the national minimum wage. Martins commended the actions of the outsourcing agents associated with the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, accusing them, he condemned rather, and he was accusing them of exploiting workers through unpaid minimum wage and unexplained salary deductions. Yeah, that's the story that is happening from Ibadan. I just want to ask one question. Why would 3,000 workers be sacked? You know, we've talked about several times how we say that a lot of our organizations or even ministries of parastatals, right, kind of are would I say they are over bloated in terms of salary overhead. So it's not a surprise, you know, that we're getting issues around 3,000 people being sacked. So it would be nice to understand why, what are the challenges, and, you know, and then from that way we can then treat the situation with ease instead of just, you know, all these blanket, because all this strike matter sometimes is just a bit tiring. So yesterday I taken a story around Davido's ultimatum, or would I call it that his subtle threat, or that was not even subtle, it was a direct threat to the Commissioner of Police in Osun State. Shortly after that, because I saw it yesterday night, he had retracted the criticism and he started praising the Commissioner of Police amidst the local government crisis. So, in a turn of events, popular Nigerian musician David Adeleke, aka Davido, has issued a public statement acknowledging the efforts of the Osun State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Abba, and other security agencies following a series of violent clashes in the state. The singer had earlier criticized the state's police chief, accusing him of failing to uphold the rule of law during a politically charged crisis, and the violence was reportedly sparked by the attempts of sacked local government chairmen elected under the All Progressive Congress to reclaim their position despite court rulings ousting them from the office. So Davido had called out the commissioner, expressing his anger and frustration at what he perceived as the police inaction. But he had also then come back to say, you know what, that was due to some form of emotional outburst. He wrote that now he's just hoping that, you know, the commissioner would be intentional about just ensuring that, security agencies do the work and no further bloodshed, you know. Yeah, so now commending he said he had heaped the blame on the commissioner of police, but now he's retracting that statement. So since I reported it yesterday, I'm also helping him to retract it. But we'll move on. We'll talk on Osun State, you know, much deeper later. You know, it's not something to laugh about, but it's just the how we don't think through things before we just put out a statement and then come back. You know, what if that particular statement was held against him? You know, we have to just be careful. So NNPC denies importing 200 million liters of petrol. So the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited has firmly denied reports claiming that it recently imported 200 million liters of premium motor spirit, commonly referred to as petrol. It also disclosed that the company hasn't imported a single volume of the product in 2025. Okay. Oh. This revelation was contained in a rejoinder issued by the NNPCL Chief Corporate Communications Officer, Olufemi Shoneye, in Abuja. The statement was a response to the report by, of course, a national print media that the national oil firm imported 200 million liters of petrol recently. You know, there's just a lot of issues going around. I don't know anybody that saw that generator experiment that some guy, you know, carried out, you know, buying NNPC petrol and MRS petrol. So there has been a lot of allegations saying that, why, because as it stands now, I believe I hear that Dangote is able to produce at least, I think, if I'm not correct, please pardon me, I think about 600 million liters of petrol, right? I'm not sure, or 60 million liters of petrol or something, one of those two figures. So people are now asking, why is NNPC still importing? Why are they not focusing on just, patronizing the local content? And besides, they say that there's a law that says that if we are able to produce locally, then it is illegal for them to import fuel. But they are claiming that, Dangote cannot, it doesn't have the capacity to be able to, meet the demands for our daily consumption, right? So there's just a lot of things going back and forth. So by the time that young man did his experiment with the Tiger generators and the two different fuel and how one is more expensive and the other one is cheaper and yet it lasts longer, it's just been I've just been listening to a lot of dramas around NNPC. So I thought to bring this to our notice that they said they have not imported one single volume of product in 2025. Do you believe them? I'll leave that for you to answer. I'll take a break now. When we come back from that break, let's discuss Osun State. Stay with me.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light from my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
All right, thanks for staying tuned. So Governor Ademola Adeleke had released a statement addressing the local government crisis, and here are a few things that he noted. He says this evil plot is being spearheaded by the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, that's Mr. Boyega Oyetola, in active collaboration with Osun State Commissioner of Police, the Osun State Director of DSS, and the State Commandant of the Civil Defense Corps. He also said that it is critical to add that Mr. President will never support any action that is capable of generating bloodbath and bloodshed. He also said that I, however, regret to inform Mr. President and the public that Mr. Boyega Oyetola has concluded an arrangement to cause mayhem in Osun State starting from Monday. This was the press release that he released on Sunday. And he said that the bone of contention is the brazen effrontery to return to office council chairman sacked by the subsisting court judgment using a different court decision which has no consequential order. He also then further went on to say that I want to state that I had nothing to do with the sacking of the chairman and councillors produced by the Osun 2022 local government polls. It is illegal, unconstitutional, and anti-democratic to take laws into your own hands. And he also went on to say that I want to place on notice the Nigerian public and our friends in the diplomatic community and the lovers of democracy and the rule of law that our people will not accept any attempt to impose illegality and anarchy on us. We will not allow any takeovers or the local government through a judicial except through a judicial pronouncement or a democratic process. And this was from Governor Ademola Adeleke. So I have with me joining the conversation Dr. Ibrahim Osinowo. He's joined us via Zoom, and he's going to be talking about the situation at hand in Osun State. Thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Ibrahim. Dr. Ibrahim, are you there? Okay, I think we're trying to get our guests via Zoom. So whilst we're doing that, I wanted to say that in light of the Osun State crisis, right, Governor Ademola Adeleke had issued a directive urging that all residents, including politicians, that all of them, that they should just stay away from the local government secretariats to prevent further bloodshed and protect public asset. He also made this known again via social media following reports of a failed illegal takeover bid of the local government councils in Osun State by the sacked APC chairman and councillors. He also then gave that directive, including, so it's just like saying definitely everybody just stay away from the secretariat, whether you're a politician, you're not a politician, just to avoid this bloodbath. And, you know, because this has become necessary, especially as the council secretariat are expected to be under lock and key due to the withdrawal of service announced by workers of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, which, you know, they announced that after that crisis across the state. So, yeah, do we have Dr. Ibrahim now, Osinowo? Okay, thank you for joining me. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Okay, so please, yeah, there was a press release on Sunday, and the next thing we're seeing on Monday, right, it's just a lot of chaos, you know, and, you know, reports have it that 6 people have been killed as a result of this unrest, but we are hearing something different, you know, just, you know, grapevine news saying that I think a lot more people would have been affected by the situation in Osun State. But you give us an overview. What exactly is the cause of this issue with the local government, what's it called, crisis in Osun State?
Okay, thank you for having me once again. I believe, we have to go back to, you know, the 2016 general election, the contest between Mr. Ibrahim and Governor Jackson Adedeji. You know, from him leaving APC during the Ogbeni Rauf Adedesola, you know, when he lost his elder brother, he wanted to replace his elder brother, and Governor Rauf Adedesola then refused to offer him the ticket, so he moved to the PDP. So we need to go back and take the full audit of what transpired and generate this, you know, situation, unfortunate situation in Osun State. This will be, you know, they moved into, Governor Ademola moved into the PDP. He contested the governorship seat with the incumbent, Governor Ibrahim, for the first time. He lost narrowly. In 2016 again, the same candidate from both parties contested again, and Ibrahim lost to his former rival, which is Governor Jackson. Now, during the exit of Governor Ibrahim, he swiftly conducted a local government into the, I think about 23 or 30 something local government of Osun State, elected local government in Osun State. And the PDP has at that time challenged. To cut the long story short, is a power play that it's a 1-1 game, and we are going to play the next one next year. By God's grace, both of them possibly will be on the ballot again to take the next battle, so that we can see if it's going to be 2-1 or 1-1. You know, local government form the basis of any democratic dispensation. Why are the governors, why are they holding local government, you know, at the jugular? Because the politics, winning and losing of any election, commence from the world. And the local government chairmen are the ones that will pretend whatever that will happen at the local government level, from the world level, from the local polling booth level, to the world level, to the local government, to the state. So in any general election, or especially governorship election, the local government administration and the system is the
It's very critical.
That is why you will see the light of Wike fighting with his last blood, with Fubara, Governor Fubara, that he will not lose the structure to Governor Fubara.
Because that is where the strength
is aware. He's able to do whatever he has done through the local government system.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted us to,
That is where the power lies.
That's where the power lies. But I wanted to backtrack a bit on Osun State, yeah? On Osun State, so from the reports that I read, Governor Oyetola did not conduct an election for the local government. What they did was a referendum. It was just a yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, like that. So there was no proper election that was held at that local government level, right? So that was why it was easy, right, for the courts to say that that process was declared non and void, like it could not hold any any meaningful stance, because that process in itself was flawed. Is that correct? Okay.
Don't forget that APP also challenged the same election we are talking about. And the Court of Appeal between the APP and APC, the Court of Appeal nullified the petition of APC. In other words, that means the election that was held still stands. Another suit, again, I don't have the number of that suit again, PDP and APC challenged separately. And PDP lost in the last, Court of Appeal, Akure Court of Appeal decision. Now, what I expect both parties through their counsel, and my dear brother, the Attorney General of Osun State, and Senator Basiru Adibola, who is the National Secretary of APC at this point in time, to seek interpretation from Federal Court of Appeal in accordance that, my Lord, these are the judgments. We need simple interpretation of this court order so that we'll be able to, for the police to be able to implement this order instead of going to the local government, challenging the state government mobilizing its voice and the rest of them. So I believe both parties should go back to court to seek further interpretation from Court of Appeal so that the system and the state can have peace. And I also, in enlightenment, this. I'm saying this to Senator, the National Secretary of APC, confirming or saying that the president should declare state of emergency in Osun State. That is unpatriotic, that is vicious, that is wicked for him to say. Governor Oyetola spent 4 years there. Nobody declared. Are you saying that throughout the Governor Oyetola's reign, there was no iota of one or two issues within the local government system? No, yes, there was. So why will he boldly, just within a day, he's asking the president to declare state of emergency in Osun State? If you want to take over a government, you take over the government through the democratic system
process
by election. Yeah. I expect him as a senior lawyer who has, is a law teacher and is also a practitioner to go back to court and seek interpretation. So these are the issues. So,
but is the court also not part of? Is the court also? Sorry, Dr. Ibrahim. So give me a minute. Let me throw in a question here. Is the court also not part of the problem here? Because one court says vacate the office, another court says go and resume the local government offices. So that is the challenge, because now it is still the fact that a particular court gave an order, another court again gave another. So where do we, if you even say you want to go and interpret, how do we even start to interpret? Which of them are we going to be interpreting? Because there's a lot of confusion. Because for me, I just feel a lot confused when they attempted to try to explain to me what is going on in Osun State. So help me break it down. How did we get two judgments that one says vacate the seat, another one says go and resume the office?
If you listen to me carefully during my introduction, there was a case between APC and APP. There's another case between PDP and APC. Both cases are the Federal Court of Appeal in Akure. You understand? So one was saying that don't go there. We discharge or we discharge your prayer. One is saying that go there. Because different political parties challenging different, asking for different prayer at different points in time. So what they need to do is a simple arithmetic in law. They should go back to Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal will harmonize both cases from different respondents, and give them a clean slate instead of engaging. And I also call on Attorney General of the Federation, my dear Egbon, to please intervene in this matter. Seek the interpretation of Federal Court of Appeal so that we can have sanity in Osun State, so that the governor can focus and Governor Tola can also protect his men. I understand where they are coming from. Election is coming next year. Who holds the local government? Governor Adeleke will not look, will not look like a moron for you to take over the structure of the local government. That means he has already lost the next governorship election. So those are the issues that is germane to Oyetola returning to power, also germane to Adeleke cementing his legacy by winning the next gubernatorial election in Osun State. So the issue is about the power. Who owns the grassroots? And I can tell you, my sister, the way our democratic tendency is structured in this country, if you hold the local government, then you hold the jugular.
So are you trying to say, Dr. Ibrahim?
So these are the issues. But for ordinary citizens and good people of Osun State to have their livelihood and do their business, in a peaceful atmosphere, both parties should go back to Court of Appeal and seek further interpretation and stop disgracing themselves. The government is swift to issue those, allegations. Government also to call the local government, in order for them to approach, maybe go back to the Court of Appeal or approach the Supreme Court. At the end of the day, we'll have something, cogent from those, from judiciary. So judiciary is not the problem. It's we that will go to judiciary. That I'm fighting you, you are fighting me. Please settle us. So the judiciary never created any problem.
So they did not create this tension.
This respondent, this plaintiff, another one. So it's a two different ball.
Okay. Okay. I get you. I hear you 100%. So, but now, from your analysis, are you insinuating that this is it's more a personal thing than the fact that the governor is actually trying to fight for better governance for his people? Because now, if you are saying that there's an election that is coming up, and because, of course, we know that once you're able to control the local government structure, you hold that election, right? You will be able to sway how the votes will go in terms of, like, re-electing a governor in this instance, right? So are you trying to say that this fight that we're seeing, or this thing that is causing loss of life, is more focused on a personal, a personal victory that must happen than focusing on the governance that needs to happen in Osun State?
Absolutely, 100%. But don't forget that both players, both heavyweights, Oyetola and Adeleke. Oyetola is the minister, doing his thing, and the governor also is working for his people. So at the end of the day, the very still lies on ordinary people in Osun State who will vote in the next year gubernatorial election to determine who is the best for the state between both of them. But the vote will be cast and counted from the world. That is where the issue lies. So there's a difference between you voting and there's a difference between counting. If you don't have the local government chairman and councillors that will mark all those polling units, people will vote for you. And at the end of the day, you will be counted out of the system. So these are the issues between both of them. They know the power. What happened last election was that the rematch of 2016 between both of them, Adeleke went back to the drawing board and capture the baseline with the Abu group, who owns some of the structure in local government award, and the former SSG of the state, I forgot my brother's name. They own those local structures. They were able to protect Ademola Adeleke's vote. That's why he was able to unseat an incumbent governor. In this country, you cannot. It's not easy for you to unseat an incumbent governor in this country. The only way you can do it is to form alliance with the enemies within the party of the governor. So what happened to Oyetola was Oyetola, who owns most virtually the Texas, and the axis maybe Osun West or Osun East. They were able to lock that place down for Adeleke. So people are voting for Adeleke, and they are ensuring that those votes translate into the real figure.
Okay.
In 2013, they were unable to do that. People presumably voted for Adeleke, but Adeleke got the vote, but he didn't get the number. He's unable to protect those votes. So Adeleke this time around wants to get the number and wants to protect the vote.
Okay. So Dr. Osinowo.
And the councillor.
Okay,
so,
Dr. Osinowo, I hear you 100%. Let's quickly touch on the dynamics of how the federal might is playing here, right? Because we all know that there's a federal power that, what's his name, the Marine Minister is riding on, which is the fact that, you know, at presidency level, it's an APC game, right? So how do you think the presidency and how do you think the fact that there's a federal backing that is happening, how do you think that is playing out? And how do you think it will affect, you know, what's it called, Ademola Adeleke's chances of protecting this power that you're talking about or this structure that you're speaking about? Is he with me?
It's unfortunate that Governor Adeleke, as a sitting governor, you know, make those unfounded allegations. It will be unfair on the president, as Bola Tinubu this year, for anybody to lay allegations, you know, against the president that his cousin or nephew is enjoying what so-called. You know, Tinubu does not approach the Court of Appeal in Akure. Tinubu has never voted in Osun State. Yes, you can say he has one or two affiliations in Osun State, but it's a Democrat. You understand? So he has no business. Governor Etola is an adult. He's a former governor. He was the chief of staff. He was the governor in the state. He was the chief of staff for 8 years under Rafael Beshola. So he has the experience. He's a grown-up man. So it's not about the president. The president will not use the instrument of state to cause mayhem or whatever in any state of the federation. So I employ the governor to refrain
from saying that. But Dr. Osinowo,
or trying to, you know,
insinuate. Yeah, I just want to ask you a direct question. Yeah, I want to ask you a direct question, Dr. Osinowo. Are you trying to say that the president has no business? He's not influencing what is going on in Osun State whatsoever?
Sorry?
I said, are you trying to say that the president has no influence as to what is going on in Osun State? Are you categorically saying that? Did you hear the question? Dr. Osinowo,
No. Look, these are local politics. The president has no iota of comment in what is going on with both of them. They are relevant. Don't forget that as you want to campaign in 2013, in 2016, also for Governor Etola, he lost. So it's not about, he's the president of everybody in this country right now. Governor Ademola enjoys a lot of goodwill with him. He has a very robust relationship with him. But election is coming. I've laid the background of what is going to play.
But Dr. Osinowo,
you will see the turn in political sectors in all the states of the federation.
Dr. Osinowo, you can't also not deny the fact that since the president ascended power as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it's almost like every election after that has been a clean sweep for the APC, right? So, I mean, if people are making this kind of speculations, it's not totally unfounded, right? It seems like, okay, because we know how politics works in Nigeria, where it is, you know, we just jump carpet to whoever is at the center. So don't you still do not believe that there's no iota of influence at the federal level that is playing as at play here at the state level?
What evidence do you have? Does Governor Ademola Jackson have any evidence to that effect? You know, the president is not one of the voters in Osun State. Oyetola votes in Osun State. Oyetola possibly will be on the ballot. What influence? Is he going to go to every doorstep in Osun State to tell them, or does he call, or are you saying that the president is the one manipulating the Court of Appeal Justice to give their judgment? No, the president has lost and won. You understand? Osun State election is going to be purely based on performance and record. So I will employ both of them to go back to Court of Appeal. I've given you the secret behind all these things. Election is coming. What you guys do to me in 2013, I recovered in 2016. I won't allow you to do it again in 2026. That is the game. That is justice.
Okay.
That is not what's going on.
Okay, let's take a break.
But Yoruba is longing to come back.
Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a break.
Time.
But
the governor also wants to finish the second term. So to expect all these third game.
Okay, let's take a break. When we come back from that break, I don't know whether the viewers agree with you though, but we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, thanks for staying tuned. If you just tuned in, we're having a conversation around Osun State and, of course, the crisis around the local government area. Of course, please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Our phone lines are also now open. The numbers to call are 07025007749 or 07014242420. Please let's hear what you have to say. Okay, so I still have with me Dr. Osinowo. I will hold my comments, right, as regards, because I know that in politics in Nigeria, right, you cannot take away federal influence. You cannot take away, you cannot take away an incumbency power for a governor is also the way you cannot take away federal influence. But let me ask you a question. Recently, right, or would I say late last year, I think, was it late last year, we celebrated the financial autonomy of the local governments, right? And when we celebrated the financial autonomy, we then said, okay, at least now for the first time, it means that we will start to see governance, at that local level. And because now a lot of local government chairmen will be much more empowered. It's no longer going to be controlled by the state. They'll get their own direct allocation from the federal. Two things that is a question in my head. How will this help when it comes to the elections? Because now the governors will not really have that power over those guys because, when it comes to the finance, somebody else up there is giving them the funding. And how will this play out also in terms of, us now beginning to see real competition at that local government level? Is this part of why we're having this kind of crisis in Osun State? Sorry, did you get the question? Did he hear me? I think he's having trouble hearing me.
Is this why we're having what?
Okay, you're having trouble hearing me. So can you hear me now? Confirm you can hear me, then I'll ask the question again. Oh, okay. We're having troubles. Because I know that once money has entered, something will happen, right? I just want to know how it will play out. Because you see, this financial autonomy, it means that now it's no longer going to be, a governor controlling what the local government guys are doing. It's going to be direct from presidency, right? I'll just tell you, oh yeah, jump, you ask how high. This is what I need, this is what I need. Because those are the people that actually deliver votes, right? And deliver their constituency and all of those, election terminologies that they use. I would really love to ask the guest, right, how he thinks federal, this financial autonomy is going to impact on elections at the local government level going forward, and how it's going to also impact our elections generally, you understand, at all levels, right? Because now it seems like, somebody can intentionally come and take over that entire structure so that they continue to have their own bidding. So, yeah, I don't know how that is going to play out. But, part of the questions I would love to also ask is, because as it is now, there's an election coming. We would like to know what measures, right, the governor would put in place to make sure that we address, first of all, the crisis on ground and that it does not replicate itself. Do we have Dr. Osinowo back? Please confirm that you can hear me now. Dr. Osinowo, can you hear me? I think maybe you should take off your AirPods, maybe to be clearer. Sometimes the AirPods can fail, so you might not hear.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Okay, it's better now. I can hear you now.
Awesome. Okay, so the question I asked, I said, you know, recently the federal government has approved local government autonomy, financial autonomy, right? So it's two questions I have for that particular move. How would it affect, you understand, elections at local level? Is that what we're seeing playing out in Osun State? Because right now, there has to be a lot more that is making people just, you know, shed blood. That's number one. Number two, how would it affect general elections? Because as you rightly said, it is at those 774 local governments, right, areas that elections are decided, that the people that eventually emerge as either governors, presidents, and all of that. So if the local government is enjoying a direct access financially from the federal government, does this not tell you that there will be some level of, you know what, directive that comes from that level? And how would this impact local government elections going forward? Do you see it improving the quality of people that we begin to elect at that local level? Or is it going to just become a lot more bloodier?
Now, let me quickly say this. As long as I give it to Ashwaju, the President, Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, for taking a bold step, a partial step to ensure that we have, you know, a democratic system of governance at the local level, that is a good one. But don't forget that the governor...
Zoom, cooperate with me today. I'd love to hear what he wants to say. I'm just having a little bit of security.
Shouting that the governors most of them are rogue to pay most of their debts as a collateral, as a collateral to commercial banks and the rest of them. So most of them are, after the Supreme Court judgment, most of them are passing state law to also, through the back door, you know, ensure that those funds, they have local laws from the state assembly for them to control the same funds. For instance, Anambra, for instance, Kogi State, most of the state governors, these are the tactics now. Now, Ashwaju needs to go further to take away the power of election from the state governors so that they won't conduct or they won't take some of their mistresses, some of their drivers, some of their tailors, or some of their, you know, car wash cleaners to bring them as a local government chairman. That is the only way to go. If the president can manage them to ensure that we change the constitution and take the power of electioneering back to INEC, that's where you have a genuine conduct of local government election, and that way different parties will fill in candidates and the best candidate will emerge. But in this case, if ABGA in Anambra fill 20 candidates, APC fill 20 candidates, I bet you it is just ABGA that will win all the local government. Is that democracy? So these are the, you know, Ashwaju has started, you know, doing something great, but it needs to take another bold step to ensure that you guys will not conduct local government. If you want to conduct local government, the state electoral system, electoral management body will liaise and work under the tutelage of the national electoral body, or the way they do in Abuja. In Abuja, for instance, you find out that AMAC was won by PDP last year. Despite the fact that Buhari is in power, people voted APC out in AMAC. About out of the 6 local council, municipal council in Abuja, APC won 3, PDP won 3. Despite the fact that you have a sitting president living in Abuja. So that is the best way for us to have a good system of you know, administration. Looking so, second question, let me go to your second question. Now, this 774 local government, That is where you and I will cast our votes. So the local government administration and leadership can never be wished away by any sound-mind politician, because that is where your vote, your admirers, your lovers who wants to vote for you will cast their vote. And that is where the result will be manufactured or generated or fueled and moved to the world from work to the local government. So any sensible politician knows that the local government is no-brainer for him or her. So I still go back to Wike. Wike will continue to fight Fubara, because when he was using local government administration to win election, Fubara was just right the corner looking at the way he's doing it. He was doing it. So Fubara knows that for you to unseat me, you need a local government administration. At this point in time, he couldn't do it. Fubara is now holding all the local government in the River State. And that is where the next election will be determined. So I look at Wike, I smile. You cannot win. For the first time, APC won in River State. It has never happened before. And at the end of the day, the president will look into Fubara and say, oh boy, come here, let's talk. Because the president needs the vote of River State in general election. With the permutations, gang up and, going on around the country, especially for my brother from the north. So Asiwaju cannot afford to lose any state from the south. And the governors will call the shots.
So that's why that is where my question then lies. Yeah, but that is where, are you now trying to say that, so because that's where my question then lies around that financial autonomy. Are you now saying that this financial autonomy that the local government is getting, that he is granting to the local government, is not in any way an underlining, preparation for him, for the 2027 general elections? Is that what you're saying, that it has no links?
It's not I don't forget that PDP asked about 13 governors, and they hold most of their local government. He actually wanted the development at the grassroots, but the governor has different agenda. Those autonomy you are saying is just in paper. When the money comes, the state law through the State House of Assembly has made laws that will allow the governor to dip his hand into this local government fund. So what are you going to do about that?
Yeah.
That is what is happening. So there's no autonomy. Autonomy by the Supreme Court, pay them directly, but somebody's at the back taking the money away from those guys. That's why they will feel they are stood as local government chairman and chairwoman.
Okay, so Dr. Osinowo, can we go back to Osun State?
Most of them will sign the check. They will sign the check of 1 year ahead of 1 year check for some governors.
Wow. Let's go back to Osun State now. So what exactly is a way forward for Osun State, right? Because the elections is just around the corner, right? Should we not just, how do we move forward? In fact, let me just leave it there.
Very simple. Both parties should go back to Court of Appeal and seek interpretation of the judgment of Court of Appeal. Then the police also to join them, so that the police and DSS will have a sound and clearer, judgment from the Supreme Court. Very simple. These guys are learning. They know what is going on. Politicians will see this. They will see white. They will tell you it's brown. If you are telling them it's yellow, they will tell you it's red. So they have to go back to court, or the police to go back, or whatever, Attorney General should intervene and seek a proper interpretation of the judgment from Court of Appeal. Then they will enforce whatever that comes out of it. If they ask Governor General that these guys should come back, then they must come back and issue an appeal to Supreme Court. That's the way it has to be.
Okay.
There's no two way about it.
Okay, but how do you see this crisis? Do you see it dying down anytime soon in Osun State, or you think it's something that would continue to escalate?
I can assure you, I'm not seeing anything dying down. Some of the local government chairmen have resumed back up from there. Some of the APC restated local government chairmen have resumed back to their duty, and the governor, obviously, the governor will not pay them. Will not pay them because they are going to get money from Accountant General of the state. He's the one that will change the signatory and money from all the accounts. through the commercial banks. Do you understand what I mean? So a lot of things, so they need to go back. And the general needs to set in a national security advisor, guys, please, let's sit down on the round table. Let's go back to court of appeal, get judgment and enforce it. That's the way to go. So nobody should put Ashwaju into what they are doing, his cousin, his cousin or his nephew or whatever it is. He's a big man, he's a 70-year-old man. So who's going to say, go and see that? He's busy running his ministry.
But you know, say for this country, make we break it down. In this country, it is also, you know, that what's it called? That's
no, I don't know.
No, wait. Let me land my point. That attachment. If tomorrow I'm the cousin of the president, you're not gonna hear what now. Of course, that power would always want to come out at play. But I just wanted to say that if you had a final thing to say around the conversation, right, how should the people of Osun State react to this? What should they be doing? What should they be demanding? You know, what would you say to them?
We are running a democratic movement. No, I'm not an autocrat. We are running a democratic system of government. Nobody will just say, go and take over, because I'm the president, go and take over the local government. No. He swore to uphold the Constitution, so there is a separation of power. This is a federation. Each entity, the state, has their own power and prerogative. So it doesn't work that way. But, you know, some people just, you know, choose to be, just to be the black sheep in the room. So I'm not sure the president has time for all that. It's a local politics. And I've laid the background for you to see what's going to happen. It's about 2026 election, my sister.
So I'm saying that how should the Osun State people, how should they respond to this situation? Should they just keep quiet and allow the governor and Oyetola do their thing, or can they also intervene and make it better for themselves? Yeah, what should the Osun State people be doing now?
They election and vote their mind. They can't do anything than, wait for the next election and cast their vote for their choice, for any of their choice between Oyetola and Governor Jackson. That's what they can do. But I believe the state is peaceful now. There are still decorum, Other tactical units from the Nigerian police force have been deployed. I saw Muiwa Aladejobi, extending, those information to the general public. So I believe things will go down between 1 or 2 days, and while they are doing their legal battle, I call on both of them to show statement. Their statement, they are very intelligent. One is accountant, and one is also a good businessman before he became a governor. So they should be man enough to ensure that, the state take, precedent over any of their choice or whatever political moves they are trying to, or gimmicks they are playing. So they should ensure that the life security and life, protection of school citizens of Osun State is their paramount, aim and objective. So I call on both of them to share their thought. They should allow the governor to work, and the minister also, can also approach the court for further clarification, and consequential order. So these are the things that can happen. It's a simple law. They know the law. Both of them fought from what is it, election petition to Supreme Court. At 2 different occasions, so they know the consequence of any judgment, and they actually know the interpretation of judgment. So they are just being, sarcastic with the truth. So both of them should show a, statesman, attitude. That's what I'm going to say. So it's a simple issue.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You've been an amazing guest. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I will leave it to the viewers for you to go and decide what is going on. But I don't think, as citizens of Osun, you guys should just sit down and wait for the next election. So we can't be doing that. So if there are some petitions we need to start writing, to call for some level of decorum and whatever, and obeying of the rule of law, I think citizens in Osun State, you need to be intentional about protecting your people. No life is worth. I mean, it was Jonathan that said no power or whatever is worth any human life in Nigeria, and it should be like that across board. No matter the state, no matter where you're from. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. We'll keep you posted on or keep you updated as the events unfold in Osun State. Remember, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channels at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop your comment, and most importantly, share, like, and invite families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. If you missed the quote, and this was what the governor had said on Sunday. He said the Nigerian public should hold Mr. Gboyega Oyetola and the Osun State security chiefs responsible for any breakdown of law and order in the state. And this was from Governor Ademola Adeleke. I'm just hoping that peace is restored and calm comes back to the people of Osun State. Hopefully, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. We have an interesting show tomorrow. David Udenyi will be my guest. Yeah, you don't want to miss that. Let's discuss terrorism and who is funding it in Nigeria. I'll see you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, lives a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.